3, 2, 1, and we're live. What's going on, guys? Your boy, BLS. Yo, this is episode 10, and I gotta say, it's kind of crazy when you think about it because we've done 10 weeks in a row. Has it really been 10 weeks? Sheesh, it doesn't even feel like it. 10 weeks of this. And it really just now made me realize like how fast time has went. And all the shit that we've been through. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys, watching these. Last episode, we had a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff happened this week and last weekend after the podcast. And I told you guys in these week's videos, if you guys watch the Call of Duty videos, that I would tell you about some shit that's going on. So, what we're drinking, we got the Steve's Cup. We got some ice cubes because I don't know if you noticed, but I was drinking God's water in the last video with me getting the kilo gold. So we're gonna talk about God's water. But what we're gonna do, I actually had the bottle of Jack, and I took 2 shots off camera watching YouTube videos, just chilling, and I'm about to take the 3rd one here. So yep, cheers, boys. Hope you got your drinks. Cheers. Bomb. Whew. Bomb. Whew. So first we're going to talk about God's water. I've introduced this to a couple people. I got it from, obviously, Mike. We got the Steve Sports Bar Cup. On the back it says, "My name is blank, but my friends call me Steve." I know you can't really see it that well, but I got it from him. You guys know that I edit his videos for his podcast. Right now I do Instagram, the Instagram TVs, so the really long ones, which are super easy. And I'll be fully taking care of Instagram once I get my MacBook, which we'll talk about. But he was talking about God's water, and I tried it this week, and I actually liked it. So what it is, I use 2 ice cubes. I know if you use too many ice cubes, it can get watered down. But because I know I told my friend, he was like 8, and he said it was gross. And I'm like, well, one, he used hot beer. You can't do that. You got to use cold beer, and you got to just use enough to where I only use 2 ice cubes, like 2 ice cubes out of like a tray. And so cracking open a freshie right here, pour it in, and then you got a God's water. So I enjoy it like this. The reason I enjoy it like this is because it seems like every drink seems like a first drink out of a beer. You know, when you pull a beer out of the fridge and you take a drink, that's usually the best one. And then depending on how quickly you drink the beer, it gets warmer and warmer and warmer, and it's not fresh. So I put the ice in there, so every time it's cold. And people are like, that's gonna water it down. Beer is already like fucking, watered down anyway, so what's it matter? 2, if you have a nice cold beer and your ice melts, you're drinking your beer too slow. So that's just my rules. That's what I've been going by. I make sure when I drink this, I usually can drink one, and there's the ice cubes are still pretty big, and I can pour another one on those ice cubes. So drinking, while I'm doing this, obviously I'm talking the whole time, so it's kind of hard. But when I'm just gaming, I go through them like nothing. So another cheers. That's what I like. So, hopefully you guys had a good week. With my job, the end of the month is always the worst. Because usually you have to do scheduled stuff, and you have to get it done within that month. And if you're not, the last couple of days, you're just like going batshit crazy. I was going batshit crazy the last couple of days, and this month was hard on me. I had a large workload at work, and what we're gonna talk about today is I flipped out on chat last weekend, and I posted a video on Twitter, I don't even know what day, and basically saying like, you know, I'm tired of streaming and people coming in here and just not vibing with it, and it's always like shit talking, and then when they're not doing that, they're not even in there. So it really got to me, and I use my stream as like a company, because I've never had anybody. Lived here for what? I lived here since December, so it's gonna be coming up where I moved here 2 days after Thanksgiving. So let's say early December. So we're about to hit 5 or 6 months, right? Is it 6 months? Holy shit, dude. But I've never had anybody over here. Well, one of my friends has been over here. He helped me move this couch in, but that's about it. No one's been over here to hang out. And so what I used my stream for was a way to reconnect with like my friends back home, and to like, and quote unquote, not be lonely, because it happens. You get lonely when you live by yourself. I don't know if you've ever lived by yourself or not, but it kind of sucks. And I don't have a girlfriend, and you guys know I've been through the Tinder wave, and it just doesn't work for me. So I just chill at home, and when I come home, I usually try to entertain myself with video games. And when I was streaming, I was actually interacting with people, and then when people come into my chat, and I know they're just like like shooting the shits, right? But there's times, there's a time and a place for that, and it was like happening like every time. And it wasn't like the same people every single time. Like, this person wasn't coming in saying, "What's up, bitch? What's up, pussy?" Or like, I'd be mad or upset about a play that I made in COD or Warzone, and they'd be like, "Haha, you suck." It wasn't the same person repetitively doing it. It was just someone was always doing it when I streamed. And when you have 10 people, you can shit talk somebody for a little bit. You can shit talk someone on this day, and then like 5 days later, shit talk them again. That's cool. But when it was like every day, it was like, "What up, bitch? What's up, pussy? You suck dick at COD." And they literally like know what makes me mad, or what like starts to trigger me, so they do it on purpose. And that's when I was just like fucking pissed. I was done with it. And the thing was, never mind. So yeah, I was just over it, and so I'm taking a break from streaming. Usually streaming is just supposed to bring, streaming is supposed to be fun, and it wasn't fun for me. So that's why I just decided we're just gonna take a break and see what the fuck goes on. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like thought about it, and I took a couple days, and I think that we're gonna stick with the no streaming thing for a little bit and see how it goes. I want to try to push YouTube. I've spent the last couple days trying to record videos. It's a little bit difficult, just because for some reason I got to do some research, but like I record my gameplay with the NVIDIA GeForce program, and then I record my webcam with OBS, and just to get the best quality of gameplay. And so usually you can only get 20 to 30 minutes of footage on the NVIDIA thing, because I'm recording in such a high bit rate, and I'm recording in 1080p, that usually my game crashes. So then I have to restart, so then the editing process is harder for me. And so what I did is I started a road to Damascus. So we started that. I'm going to keep doing it. This morning when I was playing, I was working on getting the FAL all the way maxed up so I can go for the challenge. And we're just going to go down the list, and we'll have 1 or 2 videos of, going for Damascus on the channel. And that's what I plan on doing instead of streaming. I can tell you I have been way, 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 way less stressful doing YouTube, or like not streaming. Like knowing that, I don't have to come home and stream. I've just been doing it, and knowing like I can just do whatever. It was kind of nice, and I like it, but I don't, because let me take a drink. Because I don't want to get in that habit because eventually I want to reapproach Twitch and see if I can create a different vibe. I'm kind of hoping that people get the message that I would rather not stream than then come in and not like vibe and like be uplifting basically. So you know, what I decided to do is, which I'm gonna there's been no cons to this lifestyle. I have completely turned all my notifications off on Instagram, off TikTok, off Twitter, 0 notifications. So if someone likes one of my posts, tweets at me, anything like that, I don't see it. The only notifications I have is texting and Snapchat. That's literally it. And it's been great. And what I've also not been doing is going on Twitter, going on Instagram, and scrolling through, liking people's posts, seeing what's going on. I've caught myself a couple times on Facebook where I'll scroll through and I'll be like, bro, what are you doing? And I just put my phone down. But haven't done it at all on Twitter. And I've looked at stories on Instagram, but that's just about it. I haven't been looking at people's feedback on my videos. On YouTube, I've read the comments just because usually YouTube is pretty good with comments. So it's not something that is going to piss me off. So I've been doing pretty good, but I honestly enjoy it. Like I said, I've caught myself a couple times, but honestly, I've enjoyed it. Not tweeting out a clip and wearing on TikTok and seeing how many views it gets, or if there's comments, or how many views and comments my like clip on Instagram does, or it's just been way better, and I like it. So my dad's gonna like it too because the data won't be so high. But the other thing that I started doing is I started reading. Every night for 20 minutes I read, and then I also write down my goals every night, and then when I wake up I write down my goals again, and then I literally read them off to myself, like how I'm talking right now. I read them out loud. And I quit listening to music. I know you guys are gonna think I sound like a fucking maniac, but I quit listening to music. Today was the first time since Sunday that I listened to music. Have not listened to one song until today. I listened to a couple of Joyner Lucas songs on the way home, but I've been listening to podcasts. I've been watching TED Talks. I watch about 1 or 2 TED Talks a night. Usually, like right before I shut my computer off, I watch a TED Talk, and then I go upstairs and I read for 20 minutes, and then there was a couple nights where I just played like relaxing music, meditation music, and try to sleep to that. But for some reason, I have like I don't know, something weird happens when I listen to that stuff. Usually it helps people. I don't think it helps me. I think it like when I fall asleep and I hear that, it like makes me hallucinate, so it makes me wake back up. So I quit doing it, and like if I have like a movie on or something on in the background of people talking, I sleep better. So I've just been like put on The Office, and I'll go to bed. But yeah, the notifications things, the TED Talks, the podcast. The reason I haven't been really listening to music is because a lot of the music, I've always said this, and I felt like I was mentally strong enough to not let it affect me, but obviously not. The music you listen to influences you. So if you listen to sad music, you're going to be fucking sad. If you listen to music about doing drugs, more than likely you're going to do drugs. If you listen to music about fucking bitches, that's what you're gonna look for. You're gonna look to get some ONSs, you know what I'm saying? So I've just been chilling, and I think it's good that I've been doing this during quarantine, because one, this quarantine fucking sucks. That's what I'm saying, is like the reason I quit doing Twitch is my Twitch, when I quit, when I was like I'm fucking done, I had less than, where my Twitch career was at bottom. When I started Twitch, I was I had more viewers and more active chatters when I started Twitch than what I do right now. And so I was like, dude, what the hell? And everybody's quarantined. So I know for a fact all my friends and like all my viewers, they're quarantined. They're not working. There's a couple that are there, like my friend Jared. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He works with his dad's business. They're not quarantining. They're actually, if there's a job, they're working it. My friend Reed, he teleworks. But, you know, Reed's always in the chat, so he has no excuse. A lot of my viewers are in high school. They're not in school right. You guys aren't in school right now. So there's no reason, like, sports aren't going on, restaurants aren't open, you're supposed to stay at home. What are you doing? And they weren't in my chat, and I knew that in the back of my head. I was like, all these people who like my post, like my thing, comment on it, they're not in here right now, and they're quarantined. What the fuck are they doing? So that in the back of my head, that was in the back of my head the whole time, and I was like, dude, like, I would literally be like, I know there was one time when I was like, chat, what's up? Or chat, let's take a shot together. And nothing for like 30 minutes. I'm like, literally, it's like 11:30 on a Saturday. Half my chat, well, I'd say 75% of my chat is under 21, so they're not drinking. They might be, but they're probably living in their parents' house. What the fuck are they doing? If they really supported me, they'd be in my chat, but they're not. So that got to me too. So I was like, you know, so there's been a lot of changes, and I think it was for the healthy side of it, just because I was mentally going fucking nuts. And I've gotten real good over the last couple years of burying, like, I can be upset about something and literally 5 seconds later bury it and be over it. No feeling, like, just completely numb. And like, the only emotions that I really have mentally is like anger and motivation. That's it. And so, you know, when I got to that point, I was like, man, you know, I've practiced to get to that point. Like, you know, if I'm sad mentally, I'm like, you're not fucking sad. Quit being sad. Or if I'm depressed, I'm like, you're not fucking depressed. Quit being depressed. And I'll do stuff to get out of that, and then bam, I'm out of it. I don't, and a lot of people will say that, you know, I think the main goal with everybody in life is to be happy. And I think if you wrote down what would make you happy, my happiness, well, a lot of people say they want money. So I don't know. It's kind of like a weird subject, because people talk about, like, what's your passions? And I feel like your passions are things you would do if you won the lottery. So imagine you won $10 billion. What would you do? Like, what would your life be? Almost no one would say the shit they're doing right now. But if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't live in the place that I would. I wouldn't live here. I would live I'd buy a fucking mansion. I would let my friends live with me, so I always have friends around. I would, you know, you can't think of stuff like that. It's as far as what you do personally. And if I could be the richest man in the world, and I would still want to I still would play video games and stream on Twitch. I still would want to make YouTube videos. The YouTube videos, if I was a billionaire, they would be bonkers, you know, private jets, all this shit. I would buy a private jet. I would buy a fucking GTR. I would go to fucking every place you can possibly imagine. Well, not now during the fucking COVID shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people always say, like, if you won the lottery, what would you do? I would literally buy a house, let my friends live with me, and I would stream and make YouTube videos. Plain and simple. Um, I know that I've talked to people about it in my dream job, which uh is like Twitch or YouTube, but like I would enjoy working under Mike, like Mike Stud. Working to, doing whatever. Personal assistant, like doing his clothes shopping, going to get his food, cleaning his house, and editing his podcast. Like if I've had dreams about it to where I was sleeping on Mike's couch. I was an Uber driver during the day in LA, and then at night I would, go do things for Mike, and then like I would also help Kilmer with the podcast. I think I would really enjoy that job, and then be able to do YouTube and streaming on the side. I wouldn't be able to do YouTube, but I can do one or the other because that's got a lot of focus. But I think if I had a choice of doing a job right now, it'd be working for Mike and doing that stuff, and then trying to do this on the side. It'd be cool to just be like a summit, but Mike has a lot of influence on me, and I feel like when you're just like a summit, you don't really have a lot of influence. You're the influence. You don't have a lot of influence when you're doing that. So I know it's a lot of weight bearing on you to be a positive influence for the people that watch you. If I worked for Mike, he'd be the person that I looked up to, or the person that I would go to seek positivity and stuff like that. So yeah, man, this is gonna be a long episode. This is episode 10. I haven't even gotten to the topics. I've just been talking about what the shit's going on. So well, I guess I have been talking about it. Let's say, okay. Wow. So I've wrote a lot. I didn't even read this before just now. I know that I just read the comments on the last episode, and I really appreciate everybody who watched the last episode. We got 14 likes on it, and I just liked it, so that's 15. I appreciate that. That's sick. My podcasts honestly get more likes than my actual videos, so I appreciate everybody listening. Let me look at the comments real quick, because I know I had comments. So Indigo said Recess is super underrated. Facts. We had Hush said you're crazy and you should try to rap more. So we'll talk about that real quick. So this week I have been overwhelmed on Facebook Marketplace. I know a lot of people are quarantined, so I took advantage of it. So what I did was I got on Facebook Marketplace. I found a TV that the description was it's not working, and it was free, so I went and picked it up. And I got it to turn on, but the HDMI ports weren't working, so I got a converter from the red, white, and yellow thing to an HDMI, and that worked. And I put it on the Facebook Marketplace, sold it for $100. The converter was $20, so I made $80 profit. And then I was looking around for other things to sell, and I sold my PS4 yesterday for $300. And you can buy a brand new PS4 right now for $300. I sold a PS4 and 3 controllers and 6 old games for $300. I feel that's a pretty good deal considering the new ones are coming out soon. That's why I actually sold it. So I have bands. I'll show you. So this is literally all the money I've made just off selling shit off Facebook. I've just been selling random shit. I got more shit. I'm gonna sell this TV over here. I've been trying to sell like my face scuff controller, just random stuff, So I've been like, it's pretty nice. So this is I think this is like $500 right here. And the reason I'm like selling shit is because I told you guys I'm gonna buy a MacBook, and my birthday will be, when you guys are watching this, it will be on Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. So Yeah, I might go live on my birthday for like an hour just to, you know, thank everybody for wishing me happy birthday and stuff like that. But more than likely I'll be editing videos. So we'll see about that. But yeah, we got 500 right here, and I've been saving up for a MacBook, and this is the most, see, this, it's kind of crazy cuz this is the most money I've held in my hand cuz you know, I've been saving. I got like 2 grand in my bank account in my savings, but you can't really see how much that is. This is 500, and I got 2 grand, so you can't really see how much it is until like you get a physical thing. But it feels real good selling shit on Facebook and making money off that. But um, yeah, I've been selling shit on Facebook to get a MacBook. I'm kind of strung. I can go get a MacBook right now, like a lower end one, an i5 right now, but I'm in a conversation right now with Kilmer, seeing if I should get an i7 or not, because I don't know if I'll need it, you know, just for I all I really want to use it for is for editing Mike's videos, music, and just basic computer travel, you know what I'm saying? Um so, you know, we'll see how it goes. I don't really know. But yeah, that's the thing that I'm gonna try to learn how to make my own beats, and I'm gonna start recording with these mics instead of USB mics on the Mac. So let's go ahead and talk about Cuppy said talk about any near death experiences. So when it comes, I have like 2 that come to mind. One of them I don't really remember because I was like young. I do remember, I have like little bit of memory of it, but I was so young that my mom is the one, like, you know, when like something happens to you, then your mom tells you, like someone tells you and then you remember it. It was kind of one of those. So when I was young, I was probably like 4. My dad played in a softball league, and all the time we'd be at the softball fields. And if you're from Washington, the softball field by Lena Dunn is this where it happened. It's Longfellow, that's what we called it. And so it was those softball fields, and they had a playground and shit. My dad would play softball, so my dad would play softball, my mom would watch, and I would go play with the other kids that were there. And we were on the third base dugout. We're behind it. There's a set of bleachers, and I was on the back side of the bleachers under it, and I don't really know what I was doing, but this kid, his name's Dayton, got a cinder block and put it at the top, and we were under him, and he pushed it off, and it hit me in the head. Then this is a story coming from my mom. Is she heard someone crying? She didn't really think of anything of it, and then I ran. Or she was sitting, towards the first base. There was bleachers there, and there was a playground there. I don't know if there's a playground there anymore, but there was a playground there. She was sitting on the bleachers, and she said she heard someone crying, and it got closer, and she looked, and I kind of came around home base where the fence was, and she said that I just had blood pouring down my face. And like, keep in mind, I'm probably like, I'd say 4, maybe 5. So I have like blood just pouring down my face. She said it was like a horror movie. So they called 911, and we had people show up, and I was conscious the whole time. I didn't get knocked out, because if I got knocked out, I probably would have died. To be honest, I probably would have bled out. So he dropped a cinder block on the top of my head, and what it did was it didn't do anything to my skull, but it hit me like a 4 to 5 inch like gash, and I was just gushing blood out of that. So it happened to me. So from third base to home base, I had this blood just pouring down my face, running into my mom. So what they ended up doing is the ambulance came, and what they ended up doing was put me in the back, and they did like an emergency. They glued my head back. And honestly, I don't know if I have a scar or not. I've never ever been bald. The day may come, but I don't know if I have a scar or not. They didn't did they staple? No, I don't think they even stapled it. They just glued my head back together. And then eventually, I guess it just, like the skin cells just formed together to hold. But yeah, that was one time where I almost died. The one that I do like remember was probably 20. So I graduated college in 2015, right? May 2nd, 2015. I think that's right. Yeah, May 2nd, 2015 is when I graduated college. So this probably happened in 2014. And I remember I used to smoke with these guys. Like, we would go over to their house and we would smoke. And if you watch the last episode, these are the guys that when I talked about the highest I've ever been, it was with these guys. And so we were just hanging out over there, and we weren't smoking. I was completely sober, and one of our buddies got a brand new Beamer, which is a BMW. And I was like, bro, I need to take a ride in it. We need to go. So we hopped in it. It was me, him, and then my friend and his girlfriend in the back. And so we start heading out towards the country, and basically it's this real long, it's probably like 500-600 yard stretch, just dead fucking straight. And at the end of it, it kind of curves a little bit to the left and goes up the hill, and goes up a hill, and then it kind of like flattens out. And when we were hitting that straightaway, and he just gasses it. And I don't know how fast we were probably going easy. I'd say anywhere from 100 to 120. We hit the S curve, and right before he hit the S curve, he let off the gas. So we're going up the hill, and we probably topped this hill going like 90 to 100 miles an hour. We topped the hill, and we're in the middle of the road, and there's a fucking car. Oh, so we're in this Beamer. I'm a freeze time. We're in this Beamer. I'm in the passenger seat. We top it. 50 yards in front of us is a car. We topped this hill, and we got airborne a little bit because we were going fast. So we got airborne a little bit. And what happened is he corrected himself to where he'd get in the right lane, to where it made us land like this. So we landed like this, and when your back tires hit, all that it's going to do is it's going to basically hit and then swing you this way. So our back tires hit and swung this way. When we swung this way, the car passed us, but our back tires are in the grass, and there's a tree there. So then we hit that tree, and then once we hit that, or we didn't hit the tree, we hit the side. So I'd say our back end was 3 foot, 4 foot off of the thing, but our back tires were off of the road. So we hit that, and then we come back on the street, and then basically we hit the street, and then he was able to correct himself, and the stop sign was probably 300 or 400 yards down. And after that happened, he corrected us, and we rolled all the way to the stop sign. He didn't put his foot on the gas. We just rolled, and we stopped, and everybody was quiet, and we were like, we just about fucking died. And then we went back and just hung out. But yeah, you got to be smart when you're in cars, man. We could have easily died right there, easily. And I guess I'll talk about, I've made a YouTube video on this, by the way, the trap house. The trap house is one thing that I can remember vividly. I was out with my family out in Pennsylvania, Jersey area, and my cousin was dating this guy, and he's like, hey, we're going to go out drinking tonight. So we pregame, we were drinking Amsterdam, was it mango? Peach Amsterdam. That's what we were drinking. So we drink that, and he's like, hey, let's go out to the clubs. I'm like, all right. We go out to the club, and we're like downtown east in PA. That's where we were. And we walk into this place. No shit, I'm probably the only white guy in this place. No cap. So my cousin, she's white, and she was dating, they're still together, I think, is Puerto Rican. And so we walk in, he's like got a bunch of his friends, and so I'm like the only white guy here, and we're drinking. We're there for like a half hour, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to my friend's house. We're gonna play some pool." I'm like, "All right, dude, I'm down." Didn't think about anything about it at all. So we're walking, and it's like a mile up the road, and we walk up, and it looks like, I mean, it's just the ghetto, really. So we're crossing the street, and I look to the left, and there's like a fenced-in building. I'm like, "What is that?" And it's a penitentiary, like a juvenile penitentiary, like a juvie. And I'm like, "Oh, great." So we're walking halfway across, and so basically, the club's down. We walk up this road, and then it Y's, and we were walking in the middle of that Y, and he goes, "Yo, Brad, right here. This is where I got shot." Or this is where I got shot at, and I guess one of his friends ended up dying. So I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here then? So we go in, we're walking up, and there's like this little like fence, and it's like comes up to like a little below your waist. It's like a black fence, and there's two Hispanic guys sitting outside. So my cousin's boyfriend, who we were with, he's like, "Wait here." So he went and talked to the guys, and all of a sudden they were having a conversation. And then he waved us on. He's like, "All right, come on." So then we walk in. And there's like a TV, and then next to the TV is like a big fish tank. And then you walk through the kitchen, and then you go to the back, and that's where they had the pool table and a bar. And it was just like a bunch of Hispanic guys. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. We'll play it. There's a couple guys in there that didn't speak English. And then I started to get drunk, and they started like asking me questions like, "Where are you from?" Da 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 da, And so I was answering questions, and they were like, "Where are you from?" And they're like, all of a sudden we got into the topic of guns, and I was like, "Yeah, I've shot quite a bit of guns, And so when we got into the topic of guns, all of them had guns on them. And then I realized, fuck. So they're pulling their guns out, and this guy one pulled out a 1911. It was silver, and it had a white hand grip. And I picked it up, and I pulled out the mag, hit the chamber, and I just looked at it. And my cousin was like, "Hey, put that down." So I put it down, and then she was like, "Hey, you don't know what they've done with that gun, and your fingerprints are on it now." And I was like, "Fuck." So I quit touching those, and then all of a sudden, like, I got really uncomfortable, so I started playing pool, and I drank more. And then all of a sudden, like, a group of like 5 people walk in, and they sit down on this couch that's next to the pool table, and I'm playing with a pool with this guy that doesn't even speak English. My cousin's boyfriend is translating to him. And so these people walk in, all of a sudden they sit down, and they just do this with their fist, and they take their key, and they're fucking snorting coke. And I was just like, I finally came to realize like, what in the fuck am I doing here? So I was kind of like freaking out, but I stayed cool. What I was gonna do is say I was gonna go to the bathroom, and I was gonna run back to where I was staying, where my uncle was. And I ended up sticking it out, and yeah, that was my trap house experience. Here's one thing there's one big thing that was missing. There was one guy. So if you walk through, there's the living room, then you walk through the kitchen, and then you keep walking. You got into the back room where the pool table was, and there was an L bar. Behind the L bar, in the very, very back of the apartment, there was a window. And the window was open, and there was always a guy sitting out the window, just looking left and right out the window to make sure nobody was coming down the street. So I was definitely in some type of trap house. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But yeah, those are I don't consider that a near-death experience. Well, now that I think about it, there's another guy. They called him Jesus. That's what they called him. And when we were talking about the guns, before the guns came out, he was telling me, because he was the one guy who was there who spoke English. So me and him were vibing. And he showed me his stomach, and he had a scar from his waistline up to his chest. He got shot with a 22. He said it went in and it just fucking rattled around, and he had to do an emergency surgery, so he had a scar all the way up from here. So yeah, that was a wild night. So those are my near-death experiences. Pretty wild. You never think that I would go through something like that. So Sin says, I'm reading the comments. Sim says, Scope, Dev, and Chiefs deserve phase. All of them been grinding their asses off, especially Scope. Also want to hear more about phase guys ghosting you. So the phase people as far. Okay, so these are the phase people that have followed me: Rain, Adapt, Dirty, Replays, Jev. I think that's about it. And I have pictures somewhere of me DMing Rain, of us DMing back and forth, of me and Adapt DMing back and forth. But Adapt, Rain, Dirty no longer follow me. Replays and Jeff still follow me, but I have messaged Jeff a couple times asking him like how he does his recordings and stuff, but he never replies. But I don't see Jeff being a bad person. Like he's like ego, like his ego's too big to message me. I think he genuinely just doesn't see it, or he doesn't even check it. I don't see Jeff being that person. Replays has kind of popped off since Fortnite, but I can see Replays being that type of person. But I would never ever say anything bad about him. He was the only reason that I made it as far as I did in the phase 5. So I would never have anything bad to say about Replays. But Dirty, I remember and Dine was in phase as well, but he's not in phase currently. When I remember when I went to TwitchCon, I stayed with Dine, and I know, so these are the people that I hung out with. I hung out with Carl, I hung out with Mac, I hung out with, I think, Smitty, and there was like a couple other sore people that I didn't really know. They were like newer sore people, so I didn't know them. And I was standing in line with Nick, who's 9, and all of a sudden we were standing in this Fortnite line. It was a Bebo tournament, and basically you wait in line and then you get to play against a pro. And a lot of the pros were like Replays played in it, Agony played in it, Thieves played in it, Clips played in it. And so we're standing in this line, and so I met Agony, and I met Clips, and I met Thieves. And I know that Dirty and Thieves were hanging out, and to the right, like right of where we're standing, we're hanging out. We're like chilling, talking to all the phase guys, and Dirty's there, and Dirty doesn't say a fucking word to me, zero. And I wasn't gonna go up and be like, "Yo, what's up, with Dirty? I'm BLS." I wasn't gonna do that, and he just fucking he used to follow me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the phase 5 with me, and he just completely like ignored me, and I was like, okay. And so yeah, I mean, the sore guys were pretty cool. We ended up going over to their house because we were gonna drink with them, but I think when we went over there, because it was me, Carl. It was me, Carl, Nick, and Dine and Dine's girlfriend, Astronova, and Legends of Cotton, and we were all hanging out in our apartment. And then all of a sudden, wait, this was a different night, right? No. Well, I'm trying to think, because this was at TwitchCon. So yeah, that was one night that we all hung out, and then the next night we ended up going to the Soar House. We ended up Ubering to the Soar House to hang out with them, but nobody was there. They all were out partying. So we ended up going back and smoking. But yeah, we had yeah. there's some TwitchCon stories. I'm gonna go to TwitchCon this year if it's still going on. I hope it is. I'd like to meet a lot of people. But yeah, if you guys have any type of stories like that, you want me to gaming stories, I'll be hot down to down to. I do got one. So I don't know if you guys know who Sore Ash is. She was hanging out with us, and oh, what is this? He's changed his name so many times I can't remember what his original name was. But Astronova was hanging out with this one dude, and he was from Scotland. He was a cool dude. And we ended up partying, and she got pretty fucked up, and she ended up calling her Uber without telling anybody that she was leaving, and just fucking dipped. It was mad. It was like mad weird, but you can tell she was like felt uncomfortable. She was just fucked, and I mean, we were all at our apartment just chilling, hanging out, and we were, partying, and then all of a sudden, like, she gets up and just walks out the door, and we're like, what the fuck? So then we look, and she got an Uber, and then we didn't really see her for the rest of the weekend, the TwitchCon weekend, but, I guess she just had, like, bad anxiety from whatever's going on. I don't know. Let me read my notes. I should have. So, well, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. I wrote it down, but I think I was mad when I wrote that down, so I don't really want to talk about it. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end this one early. I don't know how long we've been recording, but we're gonna finish off our God's water. Like I said, Cinco de Mayo. That's my birthday. Unfortunately, I have to celebrate it by myself. I'll probably be making YouTube videos on Cinco de Mayo. So, yeah. I'll have some more videos up this week. So if you guys want to, check those out. All you guys that watch these, even if you don't like actually watch my COD videos, if you just fucking click on it, hit the like button, and exit, I'm cool with that. That would help me. That will help me out. I know you guys probably want to see a chug bud, so I'm gonna finish this. And see, I talked so long, there's no ice cubes in it, but it was still good. So I'm gonna go grab a chug bud, and I'll be right back. I was going to grab that and grab the chug bud. I thought about another topic that I want to talk about, and this is kind of like me like reaching my hand out to have you guys help me. So like I said, when this whole shit happened on Twitch, I was like, man, like, is it worth it? Should I quit completely? Should I do it? Like, should I even, make YouTube videos anymore? Should I record anymore? Should I stream anymore? Should I just quit playing video games and like all that? And that literally ran through my mind. But the one thing is the money I've invested, the time I've invested, and the one that really stuck out to me was, I have a friend that I work with, and he always is like, we always get into conversations, and I tell him like, yo, I stream, I do this, I was, in top 20 of phase 5, and like, I used to be famous in the Call of Duty community, and I make music, and I edit for the podcast. And when I tell him these stories, he's always like, bro, you have such a unique lifestyle, like, and when someone like says that, that you it's different, and you're probably supposed to be doing that. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to be this entertainer, I feel like the one thing is, I feel like the 1v9s are eventually not, one day they won't be there, because I'll have so many people that want to be on my podcast that I won't have solo podcasts anymore. It would just be podcasts with other people. And I have a feeling like, every day I've been writing down, every day I write down, you're going to join 100 Thieves and you're going to hit 100K on YouTube. I write it down and then I read it off. So if I write it down every day at night and in the morning, 50 days go by, I'm reading it off 100 times to myself. And eventually, I'm going to spend a half hour reading all this shit, and then eventually it's going to come true. I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel, there's sometimes where you think with your head, there's sometimes where you think with your heart, and there's sometimes you think with your gut. My gut feeling says it's going to happen. When you have dreams about it, when you, like, I've been having dreams with like fucking hanging out with Nate Shot, and I've had dreams of, like meeting fans and, playing with like certain people, like playing with Courage. I've had dreams like that. And I like always say, like, dreams are your dreams are just a sneak peek of what your future is. So I truly, truly, truly think that, like, I look at this place that I live in now and I'm like, man, one day I'm not going to live here. I'm going to be living in the 100 Thieves house. Or one day I'm not going to have 10 viewers. I'm going to have 10,000 viewers. Or one day I'm going to upload a video and it's going to get 1 million views. I think of shit like that. So I've wrote down a couple of goals for me. And they are to join 100 Thieves, to move in 100 Thieves house, to hit 100K, and upload daily. And those are my daily goals. And honestly, like, the only way that's going to happen is if every single one of you that are watching right now supports me. That's literally what it takes. And I want to eventually get into a daily uploading because that's what made me pop off into Phase 5. And I think I can do it, even though, like, I'm grinding at my day job, and I'm come home and I'm beat fucking tired, and I record videos and people think I'm fucking stoned. Like, I had someone comment on one of my videos and they were like, bro, this guy's stoned. And I was like, dude, no, actually I got 2 to 3 hours of sleep last night and I had to work 8 hours today. So I live off of caffeine. I drink a cup of coffee in the morning. At 10 o'clock, I drink an energy drink with my lunch. And then at 2 o'clock, I get another energy drink. And that usually gets me to where I'm here. And then I can, record videos. So I have enough energy. And then, like, usually like 9, 10 o'clock, I go and lay down. And then, yeah. But I truly feel like this could happen. I want to quit, like, I want to quit thinking that it's just me being delusional. I just know it's not delusional, me being 100 Thieves, me getting 1 million views on a YouTube video, me playing with Symphony and playing with Nate Shot and meeting Nate Shot and doing content. It's not delusion. It's not. I just feel like it's not a delusion. I feel like if I dream about it all the time, it's just a matter of time where it's supposed to happen. And so I just need to work towards that. And I mean, oh, dude, it literally frustrates me sometimes because I know I can fucking do it. It's like, I know I'm a good Call of Duty player and I know I'm a good streamer if I have the right vibes coming back at me. If I have nobody in there or people are giving me bad vibes, I'm a shitty streamer. I just don't even want to fucking talk to chat. And, it just becomes a rage fest, and eventually that gets annoying, and then I start playing bad. But, dude, I know it's fucking, it's tangible. Joining 100 Thieves is tangible. Living in the house is tangible. And, a lot of people are like, you should go for Phase. Phase would be great, but I would have to have like a really long conversation with Banks about shit. And, dude, you guys probably think I sound like fucking crazy and delusional, but this is, to me, it seems normal, It's just something that I know is going to happen. I'm just waiting for it to happen. So, yeah. All the people who stuck around, I appreciate it. And, a lot of people watch the videos and they don't realize how much of like, you know, if everybody who watches the video drops a like, you know what I'm saying, like, or comment, you know, it makes the video way much better, and it's gonna do better. If I have 20 people watch a video and every single person likes it, it's gonna show up in someone's recommended. It's gonna do this. So even if you don't like, even if you like get bored during the video, just drop a like. If you truly support me, you may not like that video. If you truly support me, just drop a like, and if you want to exit out, so be it. That's cool. But if you want to watch a video, it's even better, and I'll leave a comment. So, you know, I just don't want to give up on this, man. I feel like it's gonna happen, and then it's gonna be a fucking crazy story. It's gonna be so crazy, I could probably write a book on it. Just all the shit that made me start gaming, and then getting into COD, and making videos, and losing the phase 5, and then going down in the trenches, and then coming out of it and being on top. I just feel like that is a story, and I need your guys' help doing it. And if you guys truly believe in it, I appreciate that. If you don't, well, get with the business. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna hit the Chug Bud. If you guys don't know what Chug Bud is, it is a drinking mechanism, so a lot of people do shotguns or beer bongs. And so what this is a drinking device, and I've gotten pretty good at them. Man, this beer is still kind of cold. It's been sitting here for an hour. So crack the beer. Bomb. Okay. Snaps right on the top, just like that, and you can pick it up. Look. Oh, would you look at that? And so you got a little key. This key you stab in, makes the hole. So I wonder. I'm just trying to judge it. I might need to tilt the camera up a little bit. Yeah, we'll tilt it. Sitting down is not the most ideal thing to do, but we're gonna do it. So this is the Chug Bud, and it's Belina Cup theme. But I'm not drunk enough to do this, so it's probably gonna wreck me. But I appreciate everybody watching. If you could drop a like on it. 20 likes. I mean, we get like 60 to 80 views. So if 20 of you could like the video, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to start being a nagger and asking for likes, because I feel like a lot of people watch the video and they're like, that was a good video, but they don't like it. So I'm going to be the person asking for likes all the time. So this one's for you guys. I appreciate you guys listening. Went through 10 episodes. If you have anything you want me to talk about in the next episode, put it down in the comments. I always read the comments on these, and we'll talk about them in the next episode. So, yeah, guys, stay safe out there. And, you know, those people who look forward to my streams, I'm sorry, but I just got to take a break, you know. But this one's for you. All right, here we go. Down the hatch. Here we go. Hopefully it's not foamy, because if it's foamy, it's going to fuck me up. But if it's not, I'll be all right. All right. Gotta get the... Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Better than I expected. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you drop a like, comment, and yeah, look forward to more COD videos in the future. So yeah, this has been your boy BLS, and I'll talk to you guys later.